Welcome back to another CF Nevada YouTube channel special. Going in the shop today, and we got an issue with the truck. We hauled the Dozer back from California and got home, and everything was great. But as soon as I pulled back into the yard, noticed we were leaking a little bit of oil, and so found out that the nuts, most of them are all tight, but there is a couple in here. Let's see where. There's a couple of them that loosened up a little bit and let some the seal on the gasket came apart, and it leaked on me. So the oil, for the most part, didn't lose too much, but did blow the gasket on there, and it just stayed on this outside wheel. Check on the inside, it's all dry, so that's where we know that it's just that outside axle gasket here. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this off and get it changed out. We was able to call my parts guy at Peterbilt and was able to get a gasket and some new locking nuts all within 24 hours delivered to my door. So love my guys over at Peterbilt, Truck Parts and Equipment and Sparks. Those guys are awesome. So go ahead and set up, get the right tools, and we'll get this off. All right, so I started to clean the rim a little bit, and before I get any farther, I want to clean the rest of it off, get most of this dirty oil out of our way before we dig into it any further. So let's go ahead and get some of this degreaser, spray it on, and started working on it the other night, and it was 16 degrees, so it was a little chilly in the shop, so I just decided to stop. And I figured I'll come back when it's a little warmer, which, yep, this grease is already wiping off a lot easier. I think it's like 30, it was like 30 something this morning. Now it's kind of gone up to 40. So a little bit warmer today and easier to get off already. The good part about that trip from the other day is that got stopped by the DOT officers and got pulled in for a full inspection at the scale, and they went through this truck and trailer with a fine-tooth comb, and I'm happy to say that they only found a loose nut on the Cozad, on the lowboy. One of the nuts on the U-bolts that we had changed out. Now it has a locking nut on there, so it wasn't like a critical fail or anything, but they did just say you gotta tighten that up. So I felt pretty lucky to get out of there with no tickets and just a minor fix, so that was good. Made me feel good because I hadn't gone through California scale with this truck or that trailer, and every time I have driven by there, they're always closed, so most of the time I just drive on by, and this today, or the other day, they were open. So only bummer was we sat there for about an hour and a half, and you know, they did the full inspection on the truck, which that takes a little while, but then we probably sat for another half hour or so, because they're like, oh, we gotta go do the paperwork, we'll be right back. And then they came back out, I don't know, 15 minutes later, looked at my truck, the officer didn't say anything, and then walked back inside, and I was like, uh-oh, did they find something else? Did I do something wrong? They didn't say anything to me, and walked back inside, and then another officer comes out, looks at my truck again, and then asks if my DOT is the correct number on the truck. And I said, yes, sir. I just re-registered everything with the DMV. It hasn't changed. it's all active and good. Otherwise, I don't think they would have given me my current registration. And then he proceeds to say, well, you're not in our system. And I said, well, let me grab my book. And luckily I carry everything in the truck, business license and all, just in case, I guess, something like this were to happen and get in question, because you never know what officer is going to ask you what. So pull out my book, show him my federal paperwork that everything's all registered and good and it was current. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, this is all right, but you're not in our system. I proceed to think like, well, I don't care if I'm in your system or not because I don't register in California, so why would I be? And I didn't say that, but I started to think, you know, what they want is not what I'm registered for, because I mainly stay local in Nevada and I don't really deal with them too much. So they were starting to, I don't know, get weird. And he takes my paperwork and says, well, come on in the office and we'll go figure this out. So went in there and the other officer's just staring at the computer just saying, I don't know, it's not in there. And I can tell you it's not in there because I'm not in California. The older officer, seemed like the senior one there, he proceeds to go on the federal website and looks me up and finds it. And then the younger officer asked, well, why isn't it in our system? And he was like, good luck. He said that you're not going to be able to transfer the federal stuff over to the California stuff, blah, blah, blah. And proceeded to say, well, you're all good, so we can finish up the paperwork now and send you on your way. Now that we just wasted an hour and a half of your day for only finding one loose nut, which I get the point of their job, but man, they let so many other trucks go through there, some older, junky looking stuff, because I was sitting there taking up their officers, and I don't know, some days I don't think it's helpful, but they're doing their job and tax dollars at work. But I just got more of a kick out of, you know, the whole computer system being the issue more so than my truck or anything else, and almost not being let go until they figured, well, I wasn't going to get let go until they figured it out. And I feel like a DOT number is probably one of the easiest things you can get, because all you got to do is go on there and put your information in and they give you a number. So why that was such a big stink, I don't know. But anyways, we got through and it was all good. But luckily, this didn't happen until we were almost home. The only thing we ended up hitting was some snow, and we got through right before the chain controls went up, and it was a butt pucker moment, driving in the snow with a dozer on the back and oversized, and got through that, and got home and got down the hill, and it was like back to 30-degree weather at night, freezing, quick offload, and went home. And then next morning, this is when I found my leaky seal. So luckily it's not a bad, nothing got damaged, and could have been worse, but we're fortunate enough to make it home safe and truck another day. That's my DOT story for the people wondering about California DOT. Sometimes it's not so bad, and other times you just getting your time wasted. Talking to a buddy, I haven't had the fortunate event of running into the carb people for the air board, and he said that's a whole nother treat, and I told him I'd like to avoid those guys forever. This truck's not deleted or anything, so it would be fine going through there, but it's still not completely California happy because it's older than 2010. So they want 2010 or newer, I believe now, and with all the DEF and everything. This one only has a DEF filter, so it has some of the requirements, but because I still run into California from time to time, I'm not messing with anything and taking anything off so that don't get, I think that's someone told me it was a $10,000 or $15,000 ticket if you mess with all that stuff and get caught. So I will, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll happily stay away from that ticket. But almost got this cleaned up pretty good. I think we can clean up this axle cover, and then I'm gonna mark it so as I pull all this stuff off, I can try to match it all up the same when it goes back on. Well, I think it's pretty clean now to pull it off. I'm gonna go get my marker and mark this so I can match it up. That's the same. All right, get the marker. All right. Got my pen to mark it. Glove back on. Now, I'm not sure yet until I go to put it back on, but I think I want to put them back the same way. That one was loose. That one was loose. And that one was loose. Yeah, it was just those 3 nuts that came loose on it. 3 out of 5, and it broke the seal. Oh, leaking some oil there. Yep. Just try to catch that. I think I got a little catch for it. Yep. There we go. That excess oil with that, and pull this off. Get that gas. Ooh. Let me check something. Dang it, the washers. Grab those. Well, shit. This guy didn't even have a gasket. No wonder you leaked. Well, that's no good. Mr. George, he's no good. No good potato. That explains some of the problem. Now this is a used truck to me, and it's been pretty good so far, and I surprised to find that it had no gasket on here. So, but it happens. Oh wait, no, I take that back. It looks like there was a gasket there, but it's come apart. Because that's some gasket material. But why is it gone? There's some more gasket material. Huh. Bumski broski. Well, get this pulled out the rest of the way, clean this up, and get another one. Check that. All the splines look good. Nothing looks chipped or broken. I'll wipe this down. It looks pretty clean. Doesn't look like there's any metal shavings. Just wipe it off. Yeah, that is weird. Why? Either it disintegrated somehow, or, I mean, there was pieces of it on there, so it had to disintegrate somehow, which is weird because the majority of the gasket isn't there. So, very interesting. Huh. Well, we'll just go ahead and we'll get the rest of this cleaned up. And because there's some more gasket material. Why it did that, I don't know. Huh. Odd. But other than that, the oil looks clean. The rest of this just needs to be cleaned up. We can pop the new one back in. I'll run to the store. I don't have the right oil to fill this back up, so gotta go grab some more. And then we can button this thing back up and call it done and sealed. So, yeah, that's weird. I'm not sure why I did that. But everything else looks pretty good. Not seeing any shavings. But I am finding the gasket material, just pieces of it, around there, so it was there, I think, at some point. Or maybe that's just whenever the maintenance was done on this before, I forgot to get put back in, I don't know. But it's been doing pretty good so far, and never leaked until those nuts came loose, so. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll clean the rest of this up. Wipe this down, double check it, and then we will get it put back in. Now the bearings and everything are all set with that nut, so I'm able to just pull the cover and the axle out of this without having to worry about needing to reset anything. We can go ahead and make sure this is all cleaned up and then put our new gasket on, and then we'll slide the axle back in and bolts are back down, and then we can top off the oil. Oops, I almost put a piece of paper towel in there. Oh man, stuck it in there a little more. There we go. Pull that out with the dental tool. And just want to make sure we got a clean surface that the new gasket's going on to. I don't want to do this again. All right. Okay. This again. Everything looks pretty good. Clean the surface off this. Oh. This looks like it had, yep, I gotta wipe this off. One of the liquid gaskets, because it just looks, that's probably what that material is. 'Cause it's rubbing off. So that's probably what was on here. Didn't look like a paper one that I got from Peterbilt. Looks a little different. Because the axle in front here, I can feel, you got the paper one in there. So this back one, they must have used the gasket maker, I guess. So we can go ahead and put this back in. Oh, where's my mark? There it is. Oh, this is gonna be the paint part. Boot this out of my way so I can get closer. Okay. Come on, go in your hole. Right there. There we go. Here we go in. we go. Yay! Good job, Josh. Oh, guys, why didn't you tell me? You put the dang gasket in. I'm just making sure it fits. Yep, she fits. Okay, let's do this all over again. Oh, stupid. That was just a test run. Make sure it's all good. All right, we're good to go now. Because I made sure that was smart. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and we'll cut that out, and we'll just do this over again. Oh, how many times you do something and totally forget that you need to put the gasket in first. Oh, let's get a little loose on that. All right. Well, that was fun. Okay. Put the gasket in there this time. Let's do this right. Sweet. Good job, Josh. Okay, let's put this in now. The right way. Stupid. Now watch, I won't be able to get it in. Hey, I got it. Okay. Wasn't so bad after all. Dodo! Now, we'll go ahead and we'll clean off all these washers real quick. So we can put the clean washers back on. Wow, that was, at least it's not that bad. Pulling one of these off is not really that bad. It's just annoying. How many people ever start putting something back together and you're like, oh, where's all these missing, where's these extra bolts? Oops, I forgot to put those in first. Oh well. At least that wasn't too difficult to pull it back out. It's a one-man job, so it's not a big deal. Just more annoying that I did that. And I just want to get one of these on here real quick and then kind of seat it down, as there's still some oil in there. So I don't want it to kind of seep into that gasket and start leaking again. Just tighten that up real quick. Kind of seal it in there so we don't leak any. Alright, at least I can now clean off the rest of them, not worry so much about it not being sealed up tight. Oh good, I was recording. For a second there I thought maybe I didn't even turn the camera on. Well, I'll get these back on. I'll go run and grab some oil, top this thing off, and clean the rest of the oil that's on there, and we should be good to go. overall, this is a pretty simple fix. So, other than the 8 bolts, being that this had backed out, it was recommended that I put new locking nuts on there, because they may have just weakened over time, and put 8 new ones. Throw those other 8 ones in the used bolt pile or something else. But perfect, got those. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and put these on by hand. And tighten them up. And then grab the torque wrench and we'll be good to go after we get some oil. Sounds a little dirty on the end. So the reason why I marked up here, just to give myself a little mark to where I know, once I got the axle back in and lined up, or the splines lined up there, it slides back in and I know it's where I pulled it out from. If I didn't mark that, if they all look the same, probably would have gone in, I'm not 100% sure, but it probably would have gone in fine. I don't know if that would have been right or wrong, but anytime I take something off, I always try to put it back the way I pulled it out. Alright. Now I can wipe up the rest of this oil. Get that cleaned up. And get back on the road, because I gotta go move an excavator right now. So I need to go get some oil and we'll finish putting this back together and we'll be good to go. All right, so I went to the parts store, got some oil, topped it off. It was only about 2 quarts low. Put a little on the outside and then topped off in the pumpkin there. So it's all topped off now and full again. Got everything all tightened up and we are ready to take this thing back outside and move our excavator, which is right there. So we can go ahead and get going, get that tractor off to the next job.